Welcome to part 2 of our BYU men's basketball season preview here at the Hotel Park City, one of America's top 25 hotels as awarded by TripAdvisor's Traveler's Choice Voters. In 2022, you'll find world-class accommodations here, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, a full-service spa, and a great golf course. I'm Jeremy Jordan. Welcome back for part 2 here. Look who I've got. I've got Trevin, Knell, Spencer Johnson. What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's up, Jeremy?
Good to be here. This place is awesome.
This place is awesome, right? Mark Pope was just playing the piano. Unfortunately, we didn't capture any of that, perhaps later, but he can tickle the ivories. Let's go. Okay, season coming up here. Spence will talk about it in a second, but Trevin, the bad news for people who don't know is you've got an injury. You're out for a while, man.
I do have an injury, but I mean, we're doing a ton of rehab, so I could be back sooner than we thought, so it could be a little surprise for Cougar Nation.
Okay, so perhaps a couple months, perhaps
a couple months.
Okay, and shoulder?
The right rotator cuff, yep.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, you're the shot doctor now. That's what we've learned. Tell us what you're doing with that, because those metrics are pretty cool. On the practice that we broadcast, I learned a ton from that. That was pretty awesome. What have you learned from that?
I've learned a lot. Like, I'm super excited to dive into my own personal shot. So once I start shooting, I think it's going to be super fun to be able to look at my own numbers and kind of perfect my own craft. But it's awesome to be able to, help the guys out, and I've learned a lot in terms of what's more important when you shoot. Like, we all thought the arc was the most important thing, and we quickly realized that depth was the most important, and then left-right comes right after that. Left-right is just where it hits on the rim. So it's been super unique and super fun to really dive into the basketball analytics of shooting.
And you haven't just looked at your own shot. Coach Mark Pope has summoned you to be the shot doctor for the team. So what are you learning about your team?
I've learned a lot. So I'm really focused on 3 guys right now. Spence is one of them. But Trey, Spence, and Gideon are kind of like my experiments. Trey, I've helped a lot with just helping him become more confident, and he went from shooting 58% to almost 70%. And like we all know, everybody's been talking about it, but he's shooting 50% in live play, which is just crazy.
From
right?
3?
From 3.
That
is
amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And he shoots tough shots. Like, it's not like they're all just wide open. Like, he has a lot of confidence right now, and it's super fun to see guys like that grow. And Spence he started out the summer, and we just try to perfect just a couple of things, and he's right up there with Trey. So it's super fun to see these guys improve and just grow.
What have you learned and liked and not liked maybe from the shot doctor?
It's been awesome. I mean, like Trev said, you think it would be arc, like, oh my gosh, I got to get my elbow up when I shoot because that gives it more arc, or gives it a better chance to go in. But what we figured out was it was actually the depth that I'm shooting the ball into the basket. And we figured that I was shooting a lot of my shots short, and we needed to push it back just a little bit. So we tweaked one thing is where I really focus on my toes, like shooting on my toes now and jumping forward a little bit. And that's caused my percentages to go up 12-ish, 13%.
That's a massive leap.
Which is a big leap,
It's super funny, we're in practice, and I walk down into the gym, and I see Spence, he'll miss one short. And as soon as he sees me, he's like, toes. It's super funny because just little things like that can change a shot by 15%.
That's just that. I mean, that analysis is awesome, and that's the point of what you're doing. Is hey, let's get better. So, and I've always believed that BYU should be the best shooting team in the country. You have gyms in churches, right? Like the church is like, please be good at basketball. Please be good at basketball, and BYU is, which is awesome. And this season, Spencer, there's a unique roster, 12 new dudes. You're 2 of the 6 guys that are coming back. You got guys from all over the world, of course, on this roster, Africa and Canada and whatnot. What's this roster like, and what's it been like to gel together?
Well, it's been awesome. All the dudes I feel like that we brought in, one, they're super good, people, human beings, just really unselfish. 2, they work hard, and they're willing to be like, hey, I'm going to come in and I may not know everything or how we do everything here at BYU, but I'm willing to learn it, which is so awesome. And it's huge to gel together as a team that way. So it's been super fun to kind of get to know them and their stories as well. I'm trying to think of a funny story. Do you?
I mean, what other team in the country is having Star Wars night and Lord of the Rings
Oh,
night?
yeah. Did you guys hear about that?
I haven't been invited. I would go to that. That's in my wheelhouse.
We're still trying to get Coach Pope to come.
Yeah.
He's not a big Star Wars guy, I guess.
Do you guys go to this? You're part of the group?
I ended up not going to the Star Wars because wife she's not into Star Wars.
Hey,
you know.
you got to appease.
But she was out of town, so I brought all the guys over that were here to watch Lord of the Rings. So a lot of the guys haven't seen it, and so we're starting that kind of trilogy, and then hopefully they'll jump into the
and then Rings of Power.
That's what I'm saying.
Loved Rings of Power. Not everyone did, but I liked it. Yeah.
But yeah, like Spence said, like all these guys are great guys. We're really falling into that best locker room in America. Kind of like what Spence said, everybody has a unique story. We went to a retreat where we were able to kind of be a little more vulnerable with each other and really dive into like just being more honest and just speaking how it is, what our backgrounds are, and everybody has a different background, but it kind of made us all closer, kind of broken down some doors that needed to break down so we can be more of a team. And you know, we're seeing it on the court right now, just how everybody is super competitive, and then you know, once we're off the court, it's like we're best friends again. So it's a unique dynamic that we have.
Hit me with some fun facts about guys that are off the court.
Dallin Hall can tell you any fact about Star Wars that has ever been.
He's the Star Wars guy.
It's
Lord
crazy.
of the Rings guy.
And Lord of the Rings.
It's incredible how much he knows about Lord of the Rings.
Rudy Williams never stops talking. He's always talking. He's always on the phone with somebody.
He loves Airheads.
And he loves Airheads.
I saw that.
Yeah.
He actually ate some.
I said, bro, can I have some? And he goes, it's my Airheads, bro.
He shared with us. I
He
feel
loves
privileged.
Airheads. He loves his Airheads, for sure.
Braden Moore knows Kanye, like, personally.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool.
That's so cool.
What else?
Noah Waterman, is he a musician or something from his family? He can play instruments.
Noah can play
or
instruments.
sing or something?
Yep, he can.
What,
Wow, I
he's from a
didn't know
big
that about
family, I
Noah.
think? Or something?
Yeah, he has like 9 siblings, or
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, there's some funny stories about Noah that we can get into later, but he's such a good dude.
He's a good guy.
I mean, Jackson is also an amazing dude. He's a little more quiet, a little more reserved. But I mean, he still showed up to Star Wars night, and he's like, "Oh, Star Wars, okay." And then
Yeah.
Foos is not. So something unique about Foos is he will not watch a movie unless it's super action-packed.
It's got to be
It
action.
has to be
Whoa,
action-packed.
timeout.
Okay.
Except for The Greatest Showman. That is Foos'
But that's still a
all-time
little
favorite.
action-packed. Like it's going.
It's his
that's
all-time
going.
favorite movie. The
Does he
Greatest
like
Showman.
musicals? Or just that one resonated?
Just that
with
one.
him?
Yeah.
On the bus ride to a game, like we're all getting pumped. Like we're like, some people have their hoods on, you know. And I lean over and I see Foos, and he's going through the Greatest Showman like playlist, and he's like, picks that one, he starts nodding his head. I'm like, wow, this is what gets you going.
Hey,
Yeah.
Zendaya's swinging around.
That's
He's
what I'm
getting ready
saying.
for Pacific or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, so everybody has a unique story. I mean, some of the guys are married, so those are a unique fact right there in itself. I mean, Gideon loves spicy stuff.
Love spicy
So,
food. Okay.
If anybody
Does he
out there
cook?
wants, he cooks. So he cooked for me last
Yep.
year a little bit, and he made this rice, and he put, I swear, like, so you know the things that's crushed pepper, like red crushed pepper. It's hot. He put half of it in there,
Oh my.
and I start eating it. I'm like, I start sweating, and he goes, "Is it good?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's good." I have like 4 water bottles already drank, and he's like, "You want more?" I was like, "Bro, I don't think I can." I was like, "It's too hot," but he loves spicy stuff, so I mean that's a lot of facts right there.
I don't. Maybe there's another team that has 3 players from Africa, but that is so cool. And I love the photo that came out recently of them with their country's flags.
Yeah.
That's unique. Like, and then Rudy, although he joking, you know, hey, I'm from Florida. He's from Ontario.
Yeah.
So a little international flavor there as well. It's cool to have all these guys from different places, right?
Yeah.
Because BYU could be a certain type of player that's a member of the church and from Utah. No. This is a diverse group.
Yeah.
How does that manifest itself in the chemistry, in the way you play?
Yeah. You know, I think that your differences can make you stronger, you know, if you allow them to. And like I said, the dudes that have come in are all super good guys, and they're willing to be like, hey, I'm going to work hard and I'm going to learn how to do this, and, you know, we're going to figure it out on the court. And it's not like, oh, I come from this part of the world and you don't know anything about my story, so I'm not going to like put myself out there and be engaged with you. And we just love them to death. Like they're so good, and it's so fun to play with them.
Yeah, everybody like wants to share their piece of culture with us too. You know, like Gideon will.
In the form of red crushed peppers.
Exactly, like I'm saying, Gideon will share some of his Nigerian stuff. But even with like Foos, with his religion and Atiki,
He's
like
Muslim.
Yeah.
He's one of the few Muslim athletes in BYU history, I think.
Yeah. So everybody, shares a little bit of where they're from, their culture with us, and everybody wants to learn. That's the cool part, I think. Spence was even hitting on, was everybody wants to learn.
That's awesome. When it comes to what you learned from last year and you want to build on, obviously you got to play the schedule you've got, which is really good, and then you have the guys you have. What did you learn last year, Spencer, that arms you with new information going into this season?
Yeah. One of the big things I think that jumped out to me was, sometimes whether through, you call it unlucky, but like sometimes things just don't go your way, even though you fight for it. But one thing that we've really talked about is, hey, something might not go my way right now or it might not go my way tomorrow, but I'm going to stay and I'm going to keep fighting. Like, you can't really control, I guess, what happens to you, but you can't control how you respond to it. So that's something I think that has been a big focus for our team is, hey, I might not have liked that call that ref just made, but like that's in the past. That was 10 seconds ago. It doesn't matter anymore. How am I going to respond to it right now?
And you put on 18 pounds of muscle, we've learned this offseason. That's pretty
right.
nice.
That's a good response.
You need to wear
right?
tighter shirts, bro. So I can see
He
it.
needs to wear the Smedium.
The Smedium, the Phil Mickelson Smedium.
That's
yeah.
right.
And then in terms of the schedule, Trevin, what sticks out? Because there's some really nice matchups. Obviously, a Bahamas trip against some really tough teams sticks out.
Yeah, Coach Pope's done a great job with making sure we know that every game is going to be our hardest game, right? So we never overlook somebody. And but you can't, not see, the San Diego State, the Creighton game, the Bahamas, like all those games will be super fun, and obviously the in-state games. So it's going to be a really jam-packed, preseason, and then we jump right into conference play, and we're going to the Big 12. So every team in the conference wants to beat us. Like, we kind of have that target on our back, and so it's not going to be a giving game, any game out there. So it's going to be super fun. We're going to be super competitive, and we're gonna be ready for it.
Well, it's gonna be fun. It's a new look group. You guys are part of the returners. The shot doctor's doing his thing.
That's right.
Hopefully we see you this season. We'll
Let's
see,
go.
right?
Yep.
But best of luck with everything, and enjoy the food from the guys as well.
That's right.
I appreciate that.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
From Hotel Park City, one of America's top 25 hotels as awarded by TripAdvisor's Traveler's Choice Voters in 2022. Here you'll find world-class accommodations, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, a full-service spa, and a great golf course.